While the music world was looking for the next viral gimmick, a ghost from the past was quietly rebuilding himself into an unstoppable force. In 2012, we all watched a trembling teenager stand before the world's most cynical judges, but as we sit here in 2026, that image feels like ancient history. The latest reports from the global music circuit suggest that Jonathan Antoine has undergone a vocal second puberty that has left critics stunned. It's no longer just about the Britain's Got Talent underdog story. It's about a man who has systematically dismantled his old identity to become a vocal titan. Industry insiders are calling 2026 the year of the resurrection. We've seen artists fade out after the initial hype of reality TV, falling into the trap of becoming a trivia question answer. But Jonathan did something different. He retreated. He studied. He transformed. The rumors circulating in the industry suggest that his current lung capacity and resonance are at levels rarely seen in performers under the age of 40. Reporters following his recent European tour have noted a fearsome quality to his stage presence that wasn't there 5 years ago. This isn't just a comeback, it's a total takeover. The question on everyone's mind is no longer, where did he go? But rather, how did he get this powerful? The narrative of the shy boy has been officially retired, replaced by a news cycle dominated by his sheer technical dominance. But as his voice grew stronger, the whispers about the cost of this transformation began to grow louder. There were signs that this new strength was born out of a period of intense, private struggle that nearly silenced him forever. And what we discovered about his time away from the cameras would change the way fans view him for good. Medical experts and vocal coaches are pointing to a specific, radical change in Jonathan's physiology that explains his terrifying new range. The headlines in 2026 aren't just focusing on the songs, but on the man himself. Jonathan's physical metamorphosis has been well documented, but the news today is the secondary effect. The instrument inside his chest has been completely retuned. When a tenor of his caliber loses a significant amount of weight, it usually presents a crisis. The support for the voice often vanishes, leading to a thinner, weaker sound. Yet, in Jonathan's case, the reports are the opposite. By replacing mass with lean muscle and high-intensity stamina training, he has effectively built a high-performance engine around his vocal cords. Investigative reports into his daily regimen reveal a grueling schedule that looks more like a professional athlete's than a traditional singer. This is the hidden part of the story, the relentless, daily grind that happens when the stage lights are off. We are seeing a 2026 version of Antoine that can hold notes for lengths that shouldn't be biologically possible, all while maintaining a heart rate that would make a marathon runner jealous. But it wasn't just physical. There were rumors of a vocal crisis 3 years ago where he almost lost it all. Speculation was rampant that he had pushed too hard, too fast. News outlets at the time were prepared to write his professional obituary, suggesting that his off-being of his old lifestyle had backfired. However, what actually happened in those private clinics and practice rooms was a masterclass in resilience. He didn't just recover, he evolved. He found a way to bridge the gap between classical purity and modern power. But as he prepared to show the world this new version of himself, a new enemy appeared, the very industry that had once claimed to discover him. Leaked memos from major label executives suggest there was a coordinated effort to keep Jonathan Antoine from going independent, and he did it anyway. The most controversial chapter of Jonathan's 2026 story involves the silent war between him and the corporate music machines. For years, the narrative was that a classical artist needed a major to survive, someone to pay for the orchestras, the marketing, and the distribution. But Jonathan broke the mold, and the news of his departure sent shockwaves through the industry. Reporters have uncovered that several big players in the music world were less than thrilled with his move toward total autonomy. There were whispers of a shadow ban, or a blacklist, where certain venues and platforms were allegedly pressured to look the other way. Yet, against all odds, Jonathan's 2026 numbers are higher than they ever were under a corporate banner. He utilized the digital landscape to speak directly to his fans, bypassing the gatekeepers who tried to control his image. This insurgency has become a blueprint for other artists in the genre, but it came with massive risks. If he had failed, he would have been a cautionary tale of pride before the fall. Instead, he's a case study in success. We're seeing a shift where the artist holds all the cards. But taking control of his career meant taking control of his narrative, which included finally addressing the dark days that the labels always wanted him to hide. The truth about his mental health journey was surfacing, and it was far more intense than any of us realized. Behind the standing ovations and the gold records lay a series of dark nights, where Jonathan Antoine nearly made a permanent exit from the world stage. In our investigative deep dive into Jonathan's recent history, we have to address the quiet years. While the public saw a successful artist, the reality was a man battling severe internal storms. Using indirect terms, Jonathan has hinted at moments where he felt like ending the show for good, a struggle with his mental well-being that at times became a legal and medical emergency. In 2026, he has become an unofficial spokesperson for those dealing with the darkness. But the road to this point was paved with accusations and speculation. There were times when accusations surfaced regarding his stability and his ability to perform under pressure. His critics used his vulnerability as a weapon, suggesting he was too fragile for the global stage. But the news story here isn't the struggle, it's the survival. He didn't just OD on the pressure, he channeled it. His 2026 performances are described as exorcisms, where he pours that past pain into every aria. This emotional honesty is what has created such a fanatic, loyal following. People aren't just there for the music, they're there to witness a survivor. He has turned his lowest lows into his greatest marketing strength, proving that being broken isn't a career ender, it's a human connector. But even as he finds peace, the world is looking at his 2026 schedule and wondering, is he pushing himself toward another breaking point? As the curtain rises on his latest world tour, the question isn't whether he can sing, but if the world is ready for the new king of crossover. We conclude our special report with a look at the future. Jonathan Antoine in 2026 is no longer a talent show contestant. He is a global brand, a technical master, and a symbol of independence. The recent rumors of a massive collaboration with a top-tier pop artist have the internet in a frenzy, suggesting that he is ready to break out of the classical box once and for all. Reporters at his most recent dress rehearsals have mentioned a secret project that involves a fusion of operatic vocals and cinematic electronic music, a move that would be a coking departure from his roots. Whether this risk pays off remains to be seen, but the data doesn't lie. His engagement is at an all-time high. He has successfully navigated the treacherous waters of child stardom, industry politics, and personal health crises to stand as the most revealed and exposed artist of his generation. He has nothing left to hide, and that makes him dangerous to the status quo. As we watch his trajectory into the latter half of 2026, it's clear that the voice isn't just stronger, it's smarter. Jonathan Antoine has proven that you can be told no by the world and still find a way to make them listen. The story of the boy from Essex is over. The legend of the 2026 powerhouse has just begun. And if the rumors are true about his upcoming residency,